Alright, here we go. Hey guys, Retro Gaming Maniac here. This video I want to talk about the PlayStation Classic, give you my thoughts on it. We're going to wait for a few more people to show up though before we really get into it. So let's see, let me go ahead and share this video. There we go. Alright, hey Mindscan, what's up? How you doing? Thanks for dropping by. So we get a few more people in, assuming we get some people in. I was going to give you my thoughts on the PlayStation Classic that's coming out. You canceled your pre-order? Man, I don't blame you, man. I have a few issues with it, which I'm going to get into, but there's a lot of people canceling the pre-orders, and I feel like Sony kind of just, you know, really didn't try, to put it nicely. Hey, what's up, Krillin? Thanks for dropping by. I'm trying out a new camera. It's the Logitech C920. It's supposed to be like a 1080p camera. Now I'm streaming in 720p because I tried to stream in 1080p, but it was struggling a little bit. Yeah, I haven't been live in a long time, dude. I'm barely finding time as it is to upload videos. You know, I'm lucky maybe one video every 2 weeks. Work has been keeping me like super busy. Yeah, I appreciate it. You and Mindscan are always dropping in, so that's awesome. I appreciate it. I was telling Mindscan, once we get a few more people in, if anybody shows up, I'm going to give my thoughts or my 2 cents on the PlayStation Classic. And Mindscan said he already canceled his pre-order, so I don't blame him really. We'll wait another minute or so and we'll get started. How's the stream on y'all's end? Because, oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it. So are you. Good moderator too. I see what you do for Reggie. It's awesome. Is the stream good on your end? Because I'm looking at the live studio live streaming page on YouTube and it says it's offline, but I'm watching it on my phone. So as long as it's good for you guys. Sounds good. Looks good. Cool. Awesome. Yeah, I've got a list of games here that I'm going to basically suggest that I think they should have included in the PlayStation Classic. I was kind of disappointed with the number of games they were putting in it too. Like, well, they put like 20 games max. I didn't expect there to be, very many because, PlayStation games are a lot bigger than like an NES game or a SNES game, but 20 is just really low. Stream still looks like it's alright. I don't know why it says it's offline. It's weird. Because on my OBS Streamlabs, which is what I'm using, it says it's live streaming, but on YouTube it says offline. So I don't know what the deal is. Yeah, I have my solution for PlayStation games. I mean, outside of playing the original, is I have a RetroPie, and this is a RetroPie that's I've added the touchscreen, not the touchscreen, the screen to it. There's the RetroPie on the inside there, and I even added like a little speaker because this the screen here doesn't have any audio or anything. So I added a speaker here that's, you know, separate. You have to charge it, and it has an HDMI out, so it's pretty cool as well. But I play a lot of my PS1 games on this thing. It's really cool. Here's the side of it. But yeah, it's a cool little device. I was thinking about making it into like a handheld or something like that, getting some controllers and putting it on the side and finding a way to put a battery on it. It'd just be like super clunky though, but it would be really cool, I think. But yeah, it's my RetroPie. I made that, shoot, probably a year ago now, but it's a lot of fun. Well, we might not have anybody else show up, so I might just go ahead and get started. Haven't been on YouTube in a while, so I don't expect too many people to show up. But this will be fun talking about it and hanging out with you guys. So RetroPie is kind of daunting at first. Soft modded. Oh, that's cool. See, now that's, I have no idea how to do that. RetroPie, I can figure it out enough to do it, but it's kind of annoying and hard to do. For me at least, I'm not that great with it, but once you figure it out, it's really fun. Oh wow. I do have I have a backwards compatible PS3 up on my shelf over there. So it plays PS2 and PS1, PS3 games. Yeah, if they're gonna hack it eventually, so you know, once they do, you know, if you can load your own games, that'd be epic, really. I've always thought about getting a RetroPie and then getting like the like PS1 like case to put the RetroPie in and make it look like a little mini PS1. Yeah, all PS3 consoles play PS1 games. Oh, but believe it or not, the PS3, from my understanding, is actually emulating the PS1 games. So there's certain games on the PS3 that PS1 games, there's certain games for PS1 that the PS3 won't play. One of those being Rebel Squadron or something. It's like a 2-disc game. A lot of live action style video or gameplay in it, kind of real cheesy stuff. But yeah, that one won't play at all. It won't hardly get past the main menu. Oh, so you have MineScan. You probably have like the 40 gigabyte model of the fat PS3, because the original was like shiny, and it had the chrome trim, and it had the, you know, the SD card readers and all that. And then they came out with another one. Instead of chrome trim, they had like a painted silver trim, and then they locked down that SD card area and took all that out, and they took away the backwards compatibility, which was fine because, you know, they charge less, but Because you remember the original PS3 was like $600 when it came out. I got mine for $500, and I got the Metal Gear Solid 4 bundle, so it came with PS3, copy Metal Gear Solid 4. It had like a cool box and everything. I really regret throwing it away, but I really wasn't into collecting back then. I would have kept it. So. Alright, well, let's go ahead and start talking about it. I don't think anybody else is really going to show up, so that's all good. Oh yeah, 60 gigabyte. Oh, so the backwards compatible model actually had a PS2 hardware in it. That would explain why it's so expensive. I mean, that's going to be like at least an extra $100. 60 gigabyte, yeah. Oh, very heavy, dude. That thing, I have it up on my shelf. If that thing ever fell, man, it would take somebody out. I actually got my original fat PlayStation 3 was an 80 gigabyte model, and I had it for years. It lasted me almost all the way up until the PS4 came out, and then it died like a year before the before the PS4 came out. Took it to a guy, got it fixed. It died again. Decided to fix it myself. Was able to fix it, but then it died again. It gets hot, and the motherboard in it starts flexing from the heat and cooling off, and the soldered points, break loose. But I went to GameStop back when they were still selling the PS3s, which they may still do that, I don't know. And I got a fat PS3 with a 3-year warranty on it, backwards compatible, it was 80 gigabytes, everything. And it was in great shape, and I got it for like $70 or something, so that one still works. And the only time I really play that is if there's like a PlayStation 2 game I want to play in HD or whatever. So $10. He waited like what, seven years for $10. That's funny. I remember that too. I think I was gonna go for it too, but I didn't bother. I should have though, just because. But. Alright, so the PlayStation Classic. Let's go ahead and start talking about it. So, from what I know, you guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but the PlayStation Classic is coming out with 20 games on it, and it's going to be $100. Some things I like about the PlayStation Classic: I think the system itself looks cool. I like how small it is. I'm sure it's a quality product. I haven't really had a hands-on or anything like that and seen it up close, but I think the way it looks and the quality of it is nice. The controllers look nice. I know it's the classic PlayStation 1 controllers, which, they're alright, but I prefer the analog controllers, obviously, or the original DualShock. But I will keep my 60. Yeah, same here, dude. I'm going to do the exact same thing. If it dies, I'm going to find somebody to fix it professionally, and that thing's gonna just keep going and going. And I even have an extra one out in storage for parts. So but yeah, so the PlayStation, things I like about it: looks cool, the controller, everything looks good on it. I like that it has HDMI out. I like that the buttons are functional, but outside of that, can't really name too much more. I mean, that's really it as far as things that I'm really liking about the system or think I'm going to like. Obviously it's not out yet, but let's talk about the list of games that is on it, because that is really the main problem people are having with the system, is the 20 games. First off, it's only 20 games, and if you're going to release a classic system and you're only going to put 20 games on it, you better make sure those 20 games are great games that people really want to see. There's no room for like throwaway games with only 20 games being available. Like, if it was like 50 games, then yeah, you could have several trash games in there, unpopular games, or just throwaway games in there, and it would be okay, because you still have a lot of room for some good games. But only 20 games, and at least half of those are ones that people are never going to play. That's part of the problem. So let's look at the list here. We've got Battle Arena Toshinden. Hope I'm saying that right. Toshinden. That's how you say it. Cool game, but let's see. PS1 Classic. I think it will get hacked, dude. From my understanding, they're just using like a basic emulator that's like, you know, available to everybody, so it'll get hacked. Battle Arena Toshinden, that's one of the games. It's a cool fighting game, 3D fighting game. When it came out, it was really cool. The graphics were really different, but outside of that, it's not that great of a game. It's kind of a mediocre game that was showing you what like was possible at the time, or what, you know, you could possibly see with the PlayStation graphics wise. Grand Theft Auto, yeah, only has one save state per game. Yeah, see, that sucks. Yeah, we're gonna get into the UI in a minute. Grand Theft Auto, good game. I just don't think it deserves to be on this very short list. There's only 20 games coming to this system, and I just don't think Grand Theft Auto needs to be on there. Mr. Driller, no. Resident Evil Director's Cut, I think this game is good. I think it's, you know, worthy of being on the list. I would have preferred Resident Evil 2, but Resident Evil Director's Cut, I'm actually really okay with that game being on the list. Tekken 3, that's a good one. That is probably my favorite Tekken on the PS1. Cool Borders 2. I like snowboarding games. One of my favorite ones was SSX Tricky on the PS2, and Johnny Mosley Mad Tricks. That was a fun game. The Cool Borders series, they're fun, but I wouldn't really put it on the PlayStation Classic. A good game to go in its place would be like Tony Hawk Pro Skater, in my opinion. Intelligent Cube. Now this is actually, if it's the game I'm thinking, I actually played this on a demo disc back in the day, and if I remember correctly, you're like a character and you're running away from these like blocks and stuff. I don't really remember, but I remember it being a decent game, but definitely would not have included it on the PlayStation Classic. Oddworld, that's a good one. I could see that one being on there. Ridge Racer 4, or Ridge Racer Type 4. That one, yeah, PlayStation game. Not that great. I would have much rather had Gran Turismo 1 or 2 on there. Personally, I'd rather have 2. Gran Turismo, I can imagine, would have been hard. Because I don't know, like, if they have the licenses to these games or what hoops they have to jump through to put these games on the system. But, you know, I would have rather seen Gran Turismo than Ridge Racer. Let's see what the comment says. Twisted Metal 2 would have been awesome. SSX Tricky, yeah, that was a great game. I used to love the rap to that song when you like you did like a special, you know, trick or maneuver, and the rap started playing in the background. It's tricky to rap this rap is tricky. Man, I remember renting that game over and over. Next game on the list, Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six. You know, it's not a fun game anymore. Back in the day, it was different, but it's so bad. It did not age well, and there's so many other games on the PS1 that could have taken its spot and would have been a much better choice, in my opinion. Destruction Derby, that's a fun game. I actually played that with my friends back in the day a lot. Great game, and even though I really enjoyed it, nothing about Destruction Derby screams like PlayStation to me. You know, it's just, oh look, you know, it's a car destruction game on the PlayStation. You know, for all I knew, it was on the 64. I don't know, maybe it is, but yeah, fun game definitely. But I wouldn't have put it on the PlayStation Classic. Jumping Flash. I don't even know what that game is. Persona, that's a good one. I'm glad they put that one on there. Street Fighter 2 Turbo. I would have rather seen like the Street Fighter 2 collection or something on there instead of just the little Turbo. Twisted Metal. good game, but the second one is much better. It would have been nice if they put 2 or 3 on there. I mean, I understand you want to put, like, you know, this is the PlayStation Classic, you want to put the game that started it all, but, you know, at least put the best one from the series that was on the PlayStation. Final Fantasy VII, I think that's a good choice. Yeah, you can play Final Fantasy VII on, like, tons of other consoles and other ways of playing it, but I think that one is one that definitely needs to be on there. Metal Gear Solid, that's a good choice. Rayman, I wouldn't have put that on there. Rayman is like, I mean, these days you can play Rayman on like so many different consoles. Siphon Filter is a good one, and Wild Arms is a good game. I'm glad they put these last 5 games on the list, with the exception of Rayman. But let's see who's here. Hey, Lady Nikki. Yeah, well, they have Siphon Filter and Metal Gear in here, but they also included Rainbow Six. So I'm going to show you some games that I think that they should have put in the PlayStation Classic. I don't know why they didn't, but these are games that, to me, like, scream PlayStation, you know, at least from my childhood when I played the PlayStation. Oh yeah, let me tell you a few things that I was thinking about when it comes to the PlayStation Classic, and reasons why. You know, it's not only the game list to me that is bad. Like, if Sony released the PlayStation Classic with these 20 games that we just talked about, if Sony released the PlayStation Classic with these 20 games, I would be okay with it. But the part I'm not okay with is the price point. At $100, it's just way too much money for these games. Now, if you included some of the games I'm about to list in my stack over here, I think it would be worth it. But $100 for this small PlayStation console, which is cool, but it has these games on it, and half of these games are not even worth playing, really. I mean, if they were trying to be competitive and maybe brought it down to like $70 or $80, I think that would have been a lot better. But $100 is a lot to ask with these games on here. That's part of the problem, I think. Is, yeah, if it was like a $60 or $70 console, you know, PlayStation Classic console, and it had these games, I wouldn't mind getting it, because, okay, $60-$70. You know, I get to play with a little small PlayStation and play a few cool games. But at $100, it's just, to me, it's not worth it at all. Let's see. Let's get back to the comments. Oh, you went straight to the PS2 Mindscan from Genesis. That's cool. I love the PS2. I've got like 230 PS2 games, I think. N64 was awesome. I love the N64. Yeah, $100. It needs more games, and it needs better games for $100. That's the main issue. Is like, they're only going to put 20 games on this $100 system. They better make sure those games are good and not, you know, these throwaway games, honestly. And some of these games may be good, but that doesn't mean they're worthy of being on the PlayStation Classic, you know what I mean? Alright, so I'm going to get to the list of games that I think would have been cool to have on the PlayStation Classic. First one is one everybody's been listing, but PapaRappa the Rapper. I used to love this game back in the day. I still love this game. I actually got this at Goodwill for like $3. I was really happy to find this. It's in perfect condition. But yeah, PapaRappa the Rapper, great game. It's like a sequence, like time type game. Like, you just gotta like hit the buttons in order as they pop up, kind of like a DDR or something. But it's a funny game. It's screams PlayStation. Like, I have so many memories with this game. It's actually one of the first PlayStation games I ever got. Yeah, Krillin, they should have made an in-house emulator, but that's the thing, man. Is they didn't even come up with their own emulator, or maybe re-release like some kind of different version of the original PlayStation that could play the games discless or something. They didn't do any of that. They used like an open source emulator that I could go and get probably on my, my RetroPie. And then they want to put 20 crap games on there. Okay, we'll say 10 crap games. And then they want to ask friggin' $100. And then they don't even give you like the DualShock controller. It's ridiculous. Yeah, no analog controller. Okay, here's a game. Alright, guys. Here's a game that is, to me, screams PlayStation and is absent from this list, but yet they have games like Cool Borders on there. What about Jet Moto? Everybody play Jet Moto, Jet Moto 2? Great games. They're really fun. I don't know if you ever played it. But this is a game that was super common on the PlayStation. I had a lot of PlayStation demo discs, and this was one of the games that was on there. I used to play it over and over. Fun game, Jet Moto. 2 players, too. Alright, so first person shooters, right? They included Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six. If I'm not mistaken, that was actually on the PC as well, so that's not a game to me that screams PlayStation. But what about Medal of Honor? The original Medal of Honor. I love this game. I beat this game so many times. I have Medal of Honor. I have all the Medal of Honors, except for like the real abstract ones, like the mobile ones and stuff. But this one I have Underground. This would have been awesome to play. This is a great World War II game, very serious game. Had great physics. It had a really like crazy multiplayer, like split screen mode. You could play as different characters from the game, or even some random characters. I'm trying to remember what they were, but there were some really funny characters you could play as. And it's just a great first-person shooter. The graphics were good. There's even like a behind the scenes of how they made this game included on the disc. And man, this has got to be one of my favorite PlayStation 1 games. I have this on my PS Vita. I actually play this on my PS Vita. I have so many good memories. And this is just one that originated on the PlayStation and they left it off. This would have been great, but instead they put friggin' Rainbow Six on there. Used to have your old PS1 demo disc. I have a few of them, but they're so scratched up now. Yeah, you're right. Where's all the shooters at? I mean, no R-types, nothing. Yeah, Mindscan, good point. So, a lot of the obvious ones that they should have included would have been Crash and Spyro, Tomb Raider, Papa Rapper. Now, I can kind of see why they didn't include those. Because, they just released Spyro, the Reignited Trilogy or whatever. The remastered Spyro. They released the remastered Crash Bandicoot. As far as Tomb Raider goes, that's one they should have put on there. But maybe they didn't release those other ones because they just released the remasters and they want to cut into their profits or something. But I would have loved to see like the original Crash or Crash 2 and Spyro would have been awesome to be on there. Alright, next up on the list, actually got 2 of them here. Anybody remember these games? I think these should have been on the PlayStation Classic. Tenchu 1 and Tenchu 2, at least one of these. Both of these are great games. I remember these were huge on the PlayStation when they came out. I was playing them, my friends were playing them. It says I got a donation from Mad Mike. Hey Mike, I didn't know you were in here. I appreciate it, man. That's awesome. It's weird it didn't pop up. I have it on there. It should have popped up. But anyways, thank you, Mike. That is awesome. I really appreciate it. Mad Mike always drops by and watches and supports the channel, so that's awesome. Yeah, Tenchu, man. Oh, I love Tenchu. My favorite one is Tenchu Wrath of Heaven on the PS2. I love that game. I'm like a big stealth game, like Splinter Cell, Tenchu, you know, those kind of games. So having these on the PlayStation, and then even playing these on the PlayStation, if they were on the PlayStation Classic and like in HD, man, that would have been so cool, epic. But you know, absent again, not on the PlayStation Classic. Tony Hawk, I'm glad you mentioned that, because I actually have that one right here. Where's it at? Tony Hawk, Tony Hawk, Tony Hawk. There it is. Okay. So instead of Cool Borders, like I was saying earlier, why not include Tony Hawk Pro Skater? This was, I mean, this game was so big when it came out on the PlayStation. Everybody played this game. I played it. I wasn't even into skating or skating games or anything skating related, and I really enjoyed Tony Hawk. It's just a fun game. The split screen 2-player mode was awesome. Tony Hawk 2, even better. This one's oh yeah, I didn't know I had this game sealed. Yeah, I have a sealed copy. That's cool. But yeah, why Cool Borders? Is it a licensing issue? What's the deal? I don't know. If it was a licensing issue, it would be nice if maybe they explained that to us instead of just, you know, putting these 20 other games on there. Yeah, I agree. I agree, Krillin. Even though they remastered Spyro and Crash, I would have loved to seen it on the PlayStation Classic. So I'm kind of disappointed. It would have been cool, like, for the people that even got Spyro, you know, like you said, they could have got the, like, maybe they got the new remastered Spyro, then they can go back and get this classic and be like, oh wow, look, you know, they compare the differences and stuff. But hey, Mad Mike, thank you for the donation, man. That's awesome. Yeah, I think Sony rushed it and really just did a crappy, like, you know, half-assed job on it, really. They used an open source emulator. They didn't include the DualShock analog controllers. They put some crappy games on there, and they only put 20 games, and they want to charge $100. I think they're just trying to cash in. I mean, obviously they're trying to cash in on the classic system craze, but man, they could have tried a little more. Yeah, I'm thinking, like you said, it had to be licensing issues, but it sucks, though, that it's like that. Seems like they could have come up with some better games, though. I mean, they've got to have some of these games, and you know, under their control, whatever. But this is another one that I loved growing up, and this is one to me that was on all the PlayStation demo disc, and it's Gex 3, Deep Cover Gecko. This game was fun. It had like a almost like a Banjo-Kazooie feel to it. This guy, he talks to you the whole game. He says some hilarious stuff. It's just a very fun and quirky game. 3D platformer. Lots of like snowboarding. Lots of variety in the levels. I remember they had this really cool like Christmas level. That was my favorite level. But yeah, Gex 3 would have been great. Doom, yeah, Doom would have been great. There's so many, I mean, when you think PlayStation 1, you don't think first-person shooters, but there are some decent first-person shooters on the PS1, and out of all of those, they chose the slow, stiff Rainbow Six. It's like, come on. Of course, you already mentioned it, but Tomb Raider, where's Tomb Raider? I would have been fine with the original Tomb Raider. I know people say like Tomb Raider 2 and 3 would be better, but I mean, I really enjoyed the original. You know, lots of puzzles and things like that. I always remember freaking out whenever I ran into like bears and wolves and stuff, but original Tomb Raider would have been great. Yeah, loading screen. Let's see what else we got in the comments here. That would have been cool, Krillin. Include the screen. Yeah, like Mad Mike, like it feels like Sony when they released this, it feels lazy. Like they don't care. They're just throwing it out there and hoping people buy it. But you know, the SNES Classic and NES Classic, I don't have them, but from what I'm seeing, they've put like a lot of work into it. Everything from the box art to like the user interface in the game and everything. It's just so much better. And that's another thing I wanted to talk about. They want $100 for this system. Only has 20 games. No analog sticks. It's got, I mean, it's just got so many issues, and one of them being the user interface is so bland. Like nothing in that interface like looks like PlayStation. Maybe the purple tint in the background or the blue tint, but it's like the user interface is boring. It's like just a circle of games. It would have been cool if like they had the circle of games and they gave you some background information, like a history on it, or something like a vault, like, you know, a vault of games with all this information. But they didn't do anything. It's just thrown together and like, hey, you know, give us your money. Yeah, Krillin, check out Gex 3, man. That is a fun game. Yeah, I played Tomb Raider on PC. Remember, first time I played Tomb Raider was on the PS1, but my friend actually had it on his Windows 98 computer, so we played it on that. It was pretty cool. LSD Dream Emulator. Alright, next game up, I would have put on there Resident Evil. I dropped it. Resident Evil 2 would have been great. I'm glad they put the director's cut, the original Resident Evil, on there, so I'll let them slide on that one. But this is another classic. Now, granted, this was released on like Nintendo 64 as well, so maybe that's why they didn't put it on there. They wanted to keep it like, you know, games that were only released on the PlayStation at the time. I don't know. Now, here's one. I don't know if anybody in the chat has played this one, but this is a great PS1 game, and I don't think it's on any other system. It might be. Correct me if I'm wrong, but yeah, dude, definitely do that. Oh, Silent Hill, yeah, that's on the list. That's actually in the stack over here, Matt. What about Heart of Darkness? Has any of y'all played Heart of Darkness? It's kind of like, it's a side-scrolling puzzle type game, but it's a very light-hearted game in some ways with the animation and everything. If you can see on the back, it almost has like a Pixar look to it. But this game is really dark, actually. Like some of the ways you die in this are really graphic. It almost plays like Limbo. If you've ever played Limbo, it's kind of like that. Side-scrolling, kind of quiet, puzzle type game. But this is a really great PS1 game, very unique, and it would have been cool to see on the PlayStation Classic, like many other games. Back to the comments. Yeah, I have Resident Evil 2 on, I think I have it on PS1 and, is it GameCube? I might have it on GameCube. Let's take a look real quick. Maybe it's Resident Evil 3 I have on GameCube. I can't remember. But I've got several copies of Resident Evil 2. Yeah, you're right, Mad Mike. X-Men Children of the Atom. I remember that game. There's also X-Men Mutant Academy, a fun little fighting game. X-Men games. You know what game I really liked that a lot of people did not like? It was on PS2, GameCube, Xbox. X-Men Next Dimension. That was a fun game. I have it. I actually think I just saw it in my PS2 collection somewhere. Where did it go? X-Men. No, that's X-Men Legends. That's what I saw. But X-Men Next Dimension is a great game. Wish I had it. I'd show it to you real quick. But yeah, Toomba. Yeah, that would have been a cool one. Matt Hoffman's BMX game. I remember that game, dude. Yeah, it's like Tony Hawk, but yeah, BMX. I actually had that one. That was a cool game. Yeah, Minus Game. They didn't put, dude. They didn't put any shooters to my knowledge. I gotta look again. Or platformers. It sucks. Alright, Spyro the Dragon. Would have been great, obviously. They didn't put it on there. I mean, this is PlayStation. What the heck? Alright, now here's one that I've noticed a lot of people haven't mentioned. And this is a game that I loved growing up and playing it on PlayStation. What about the... Are you ready for this? What about the Driver series? Everybody remember Driver? Driver 1, Driver 2? These games were great. These were like open world, almost like driving around the city, getting in, you know, police pursuits and outrunning cops and just, you know, all kind of craziness. These games are great. And then Driver 2, the original Driver lets you drive around. It's really cool. When you're driving in that game in the city, there's not really any curves to the roads. It's all straight. Like you go straight, you make a left. There's no curves in the road. Whereas Driver 2, they implemented curves and, like, you know, the roads gradually turned right or left. It was funny. It's something I noticed when I was playing them a while back. But Driver 2 allowed you to actually get out of your vehicle. And I put so many hours in Driver 2. You know, the 2-disc set. And this is a game that nobody really mentioned or is mentioning whenever they talk about games that should be on the PlayStation Classic. Yeah, Driver games were epic, dude. How about... Okay, this next game I don't have, sadly. I'm probably going to have to order it on eBay or Amazon. But we're talking PlayStation games. Why did they not include this game right here, Medieval? Y'all remember that game, Medieval? Play as the skull, the guy, I forgot his name now. Sir something. But that game was huge on PlayStation, and they didn't put it on there. That would have been a great game, and it's a game that I only got to play at a friend's house, so it would have been awesome to get it on like the PlayStation Classic and really be able to play through the whole game. Italian Job, yep. Driver 2 is definitely the better game. Mad Mike, yeah, hit that thumbs up. Appreciate it, Mike. See, we got 7 people watching. That's all right. Now this one everybody's been mentioning. Parasite Eve. You know, a lot of people said this needs to be on there. I agree. It's a shame they left it out. But at least they put Resident Evil on there. If they had not put Resident Evil, man, it would have been like a joke. It's already a joke, but it would have been even that much more of a joke. These have been mentioned as well. Dino Crisis 1 and 2. Great survival horror games. You don't want to have too many survival horror games. Granted, you only have 20 games to work with, right? You don't want to have like half of them or 3 or 4 of them be survival, like slow-paced survival horror games. But these are great games. It would have been cool to see maybe one of them on there. But it's like Resident Evil with dinosaurs. Yeah, Medieval's gone up in price, I think. It's, you know, I've got to try to get it again. I want to play it so bad. I think there's Medieval 1 and 2 on the PS1. I could be wrong, though. Soul Blade, yeah. I think I have Soul Blade on the Dreamcast. Yeah, Soul Blade and Soul Calibur, those are very similar. Yeah, I mean, Battle Arena Toshinden, I have that one, the original, in the tall box, the long box. I have a Destruction Derby in the long box, but like, Battle Arena was cool, but there's so many better games they could have put on there. Alright, we're getting down to a few obvious ones that I would have wanted to add. Legend of Dragoon, that would have been an awesome game. I don't know why they didn't add it. An epic RPG, really. An obvious choice, but of course it's not on there. Another one that they did not add that I think they should have was Chrono Cross. Why isn't that on there? That's another great game. I mean, I don't want to have too many RPGs, but I mean, we're talking about some heavy hitters here that are completely absent. Xenogears. I need to play Xenogears. I haven't played that one. Oh, you got Soul Blade, a mom and pop store. That's cool. I have one of those, you know, small game stores near me where I live, and they get some pretty cool stuff in there. The guys that work there are really cool too. They're usually willing to, you know, work with you and stuff. It's actually where I got my Engage recently, my little Nokia Engage gaming phone. I got it like in the box and everything. Well, they didn't. I think they put Final Fantasy VII, so that's on there at least. Man, at least they put that on there. I mean, Breath of Fire 3, yeah. Don't get too crazy now, Mike. Breath of Fire. Yeah, that would have been epic, though. So many games, man. I'm just disappointed with the list. And I'm disappointed with the price. I'm disappointed with the user interface. I didn't pre-order it because I wanted to see what games they had. So, like, when they released the games, I'm like, yeah, I'm glad I didn't pre-order it. Okay, so y'all already mentioned this one. Silent Hill needs to be on there. I actually had the greatest hits version of this, and I traded it to... What did I do? I had the greatest hits, found this one really cheap, picked it up, and then I think I gave my greatest hits to Reggie. We did a trade, Radical Reggie, and I sent him my greatest hits version of Silent Hill because he didn't have it and he wanted to have that variant. But I just prefer the black label, so... Vagrant Story, oh yeah, that would have been great. Now here's a game, I don't know if a lot of y'all know about this game. It's a game called Omega Boost, and I really need to get a better case for it. But it's called Omega Boost. This would have been great. This is a game that, as far as I know, was only released on the PlayStation. This thing's falling apart in my hands. But Omega Boost, it's like a mech Gundam style arcade shooter. Classic Game Room does a great video on this. There went my disc. It's alright. But anyways, yeah. This game has some amazing graphics for the PlayStation. If I can pull up a video and try to show you real quick, I will. But Omega Boost. And Omega Boost is one of those games you don't hear about hardly at all. And you would assume it's like one of those, you know, rare, really expensive games. But I think Omega Boost is going for like 20 bucks right now. I would definitely pick it up. Let me show you some gameplay if I can. Because that game, the graphics on Omega Boost are so good, dude. Omega Boost, PS1. Get past, it's got some epic cutscenes. Here we go. That, HD quality. Alright, Mega Boost. It's like a, I don't know if you can see it. It's a mech game in space, and it is super crazy. It's fast paced. The graphics are amazing. The controls are very fluid. Great game, a very underrated game, and one that a lot of people don't know about. And I was super happy to find it in the store when I did, and went ahead and picked it up. But yeah, Reggie. Yeah, we did a. I think me and Reggie did a live like package swap. Where, like, you know, I opened up the one he sent me, and he opened the one I sent him. Yeah, they did. Man, they didn't care at all. Like, you can tell not only by the game list that they didn't care, but they didn't care based, I mean, the UI, the user interface. If you looked up the user interface, it's just lame. It's boring. Very thrown together. It felt like a last minute side note. You know, they didn't bother to do much with it. Yeah, they wanted to jump on that classic bandwagon. So that's my issues with the PlayStation Classic. The price, the game list, obviously, the fact that there's only 20 games, the no analog sticks, the user interface, The price, I mean, it's just so many issues. After this stream, I'm probably going to hop on Fallout 76 and play that for a little bit. I may live stream it, I don't know. If I do live stream, it'll probably just be like a voice chat type live stream. I don't really plan on doing the camera there. If y'all want to join me on that. Fallout 76. Yeah, here's the thing, like Fallout 76, I was very skeptical of it. I read all the reviews. I was not happy with a lot of the design choices that they went with, and like a lot of it just didn't make sense. But I have the game. It was given to me by my wife for a anniversary present. She gets me like several games. I think she's gonna get me like Battlefield and a few others. But I'm gonna give it a chance, and I'm thinking the world is so big. Maybe I can just have fun exploring in the game, and then maybe have some friends to play. It might be fun. Hey, thank you, Krillin. Yeah, if I live stream it, that'd be awesome if you drop by. I just started. I'm like a level 2, so I haven't really gotten far at all. Alright, see ya. Let's say PS Vita? What is it? PlayStation via SCART on the frame. Okay. Yeah, I haven't tried that. You know, I mostly play my PS1 games on my PS3, and they look pretty good on that. But it probably looks better the way you're saying on the SCART. FrameMeister. I don't know if you were here, Mad Mike, but I was showing Krillin and Mindscan my RetroPie system that I have here. And the RetroPie is actually in the back here. That's the system itself. This is a screen that I have hooked up to it. It's a RetroPie screen. There's the ports on the side. But this is another way I play a lot of my PS1 games. I download them onto that. I bought a little Bluetooth, not even a Bluetooth, a little mini speaker that you plug into your phone, and I wired that into it, so now it has sound, because the screen itself doesn't have any sound, but it also has a HDMI output, so this is kind of how I play a lot of my PlayStation games. It's really cool. Play it mobile or output it to a TV. Yeah, Matt, that's one of the issues or worries I have with the game. I've played it maybe 30 minutes to an hour so far, and that's one thing I'm noticing with Fallout 76 is it's very quiet and it's very empty. Like, I've run across 2 other players because I'm still at the very beginning, so everybody's kind of going through the same, objectives and all that. And neither one of them even acknowledged that I was there. Like, I was standing in front of them. They didn't do anything. They just went on with their business. So I think Bethesda was thinking, oh, this will be better than having NPCs because it'll be real people to interact with. But a lot of people just want to go do their own thing, and they don't care. So I was, like, standing there waving like an idiot, and they didn't even look at me. Are you talking about the RetroPie Mindscan? I think it upscales it to 1080p because it's an emulator on there, so I think it does upscale it. I've always wanted to set up Xlink Kai, Mad Mike, but I didn't really know how. different startup screen on the PlayStation Classic. Let's see, what time is it? I may not be able to live stream Fallout. I may have to do that tomorrow, because I've got to get up for work tomorrow, 3:30 in the morning. So that's gonna suck. Thanks for dropping by, Studios One. Yeah, I had a really cool case, Mad Mike, on my RetroPie, and it was it's like a clear case, and it had like a fan in it to keep it from overheating. It was really cool. Yeah, NFL Blitz, yeah, another great game. So many missed opportunities, man. It's kind of disappointing. Okay, yeah, I'll add you on there. Mindscan 420. Let me see if I can add you from the phone app real quick. Let's see. Because I remember we were on there originally, but let's see. Friends, search. There we go. Mindscan 420. Found you. See if it'll let me add you. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a try. It's cool so far, but it's very empty feeling. So I'm gonna try to get more into the lore and kind of like, there's no NPCs there. You really gotta try to like send name request from different friends. Yeah, it says we're already friends on Mindscan. Mindscan 420. There we go. Got you on there already. Says we're already added as friends. That's a cool background. Alright, Lady Nikki, thanks for dropping by. I've actually got to get going here in a minute as well. I might try to hop on Fallout for a minute, but I probably won't live stream because I want to, be able to live stream when I have at least an hour to two. Hey, Krillin. I think I'm going to go ahead and end the stream. I'm not sure how long it's been going on for because my YouTube page on this is frozen. Let's see. Almost an hour, so that's cool. But thank you everybody that, hung out with me and watched. Mindscan, Mad Mike, Lady Nikki, Krillin, obviously, Matt Cole, Studios One. Thanks for hanging out. Had a good time discussing our disappointments with the PlayStation Classic. So many missed opportunities, not even funny. Yeah, hey Krillin, when you get Gex 3, hit me up on Facebook Messenger. I think you had me on there, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, hit me up and let me know what you think of Gex 3, man. That game is crazy. It's so fun. Yeah, thanks for dropping by, Krillin. I appreciate it. I was telling him I'm probably going to live stream Fallout tomorrow because I've got to get in bed here in a little bit. But I'll see you later, Matt. Appreciate it. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I know I did. And thanks for hanging out. And go ahead and end the stream. So we'll see you guys next time. See ya.